Have you noticed how some people stay sharp, mobile, and alive well into their 90s, while others decline rapidly just after turning 70? Here's a shocking truth. In a recent population-based study published in JAMA Internal Medicine, researchers tracked over 14,000 older adults for 10 years. What they found chilled doctors to the bone. Nearly 1 in 3 adults over 65 showed accelerated decline markers before any visible health symptoms appeared. They looked fine, they felt fine, but their bodies were ticking like time bombs, set to explode within just a few short years. And here's the worst part. Most of those who passed away within 3-5 years showed nearly identical signs months earlier. 6 quiet, deadly signals. If you're over 60 and still feel pretty good, don't assume you're safe. These signs come in silently. They take away your stability, your clarity, your breath, your dignity, then your life. You might ignore them. You might think it's just part of aging. But you would be wrong. Let's go through these 6 life-altering signals, one at a time. If you notice even 2 of them, your risk of dying before 75 is not just slightly higher, it's drastically elevated. This is not theory, this is biology. And what you'll learn today may not only add years to your life, it may prevent the final spiral altogether, but only if you watch closely. Because these signs are subtle, they're hidden, and if you miss them once, you may not get a second chance. The first signal is physical, but not in the way most people expect. It starts with walking. We're not talking about being unable to walk or needing a cane. We're talking about walking speed. According to a peer-reviewed meta-analysis from 2011 conducted by the University of Pittsburgh, walking speed alone can predict life expectancy more accurately than age, gender, or even blood pressure. Read that again. How fast you walk can tell us how long you'll live. The study found that adults over 65 who walked slower than 0.8 meters per second had significantly higher mortality within 3 to 5 years. Many didn't even know their walking speed had declined because it doesn't feel sudden. It's silent, creeping, a 0.1 second loss per year, but it adds up. And then, your muscle coordination, balance reflex, and cardiovascular efficiency all begin crashing down. Doctors call this the first cliff, and the scary part, once your speed declines past a certain point, the chances of bouncing back are slim without urgent intervention. You don't need a treadmill to test this. Go outside. Time yourself walking 4 meters, about 13 feet. If it takes more than 5 seconds, you may be in the red zone. This is not panic, this is prevention. Muscle loss is the core driver. It's called sarcopenia, the loss of muscle mass with age. After 60, you can lose 3-5% of muscle per year if you don't fight back. What can you do? Add 20 minutes of light resistance training 3 times a week. Body weight squats using the kitchen counter, wall push-ups, arm raises with water bottles. Even sitting and standing from a chair repeatedly helps. Your legs control your lungs and heart more than you think. Add 20-30 g of protein per meal. The elderly need more protein than young adults. A 70 kilograms elder should consume 90-100 g of protein daily. Without this, your muscles waste quietly while you sleep. One woman, Gloria Matthews, 74, started adding egg whites and Greek yogurt to breakfast, lentils and spinach to lunch, and grilled chicken with roasted broccoli at dinner. She also walked 20 minutes every morning and did slow wall push-ups every night. Within 45 days, her speed test improved by 0.2 m/s. Her cardiologist said it was equivalent to reversing her aging clock by 8 years. The second signal is something most elders blame on just getting old. It's not. It's breathlessness. If you feel winded after simple tasks, climbing 1 flight of stairs, tying your shoes, or carrying groceries, you might be missing a bigger picture. Researchers from Harvard Medical School and Brigham and Women's Hospital found that elders who report early breathlessness, even without diagnosed heart or lung disease, have 2.5x higher all-cause mortality in the next 5 years. Why? Because breathlessness is a marker of microvascular collapse. Your smallest blood vessels, capillaries in the lungs and extremities, begin to fail. Oxygen isn't absorbed efficiently. Muscles become oxygen hungry. Your brain too. This often happens before formal diagnosis of heart failure or COPD. One man, Richard Langdon, 68, noticed he couldn't speak full sentences without pausing to catch his breath. No chest pain, no cough, just small breath hiccups. 3 months later, he fainted while gardening. The test showed early-stage heart failure, caught just in time. So how do you check this signal? Try this. Stand next to a flight of stairs. Climb 10 steps without stopping. If your breathing becomes heavy, erratic, or you feel pressure, not just exhaustion, you need screening. You can also measure your recovery time. Take a brisk 2-minute walk, then sit. Time how long it takes for your breathing to return to normal. Over 2 minutes of recovery equals sign, early cardiovascular warning. What can you do? Begin with 5-minute brisk walks, 3 times a day. Use box breathing, 4 seconds in, 4 hold, 4 out, 4 hold, to train your lungs. Add beets or beet juice to your diet. The nitrates improve blood vessel dilation. Omega-3 SEPs support anti-inflammation. Magnesium citrate, 200 mg daily, relaxes your bronchi. Vitamin D3 1000 IU daily, supports immune-lung interface. And breathe through your nose. Mouth breathing shortens breath length and increases sympathetic stress. The third signal comes not from the body, but from the mind. It's withdrawal. Social, emotional, and intellectual withdrawal is one of the earliest signs of cognitive decline and early mortality. It doesn't mean dementia. It means your brain is losing drive. Do you avoid phone calls now? Do you feel lazy about meeting friends? Have you stopped reading new books, watching documentaries, or solving crosswords? That's not just age, that's shrinkage in the prefrontal cortex. Multiple studies, including one from the Lancet Commission on Dementia Prevention, state that mental stimulation, social engagement, and purpose-driven activity can prevent up to 35% of dementia cases in late life. And not only that, these habits reduce mortality risk by up to 28%. This signal hides in daily routine. You'll find yourself skipping meals, sleeping too much, not remembering if you took your medication, becoming reactive, irritable. The solution is to restore stimulation, not random scrolling on the phone. That numbs the brain. Real stimulation. Call one friend a day. Walk in new places. Cook a new recipe. Learn a new word every morning. Watch a documentary. Talk about it. Journal your sleep, diet, thoughts. The more novelty your brain experiences, the more blood it demands, and the more alive it stays. The fourth signal is nighttime imbalance, not sleep quality, not insomnia, something stranger. If you wake up between 2-4 a.m. consistently, feel hot, anxious, or slightly disoriented, this may indicate blood sugar crashes, melatonin suppression, or even early autonomic nervous system shifts. Elders often blame it on bladder issues, but when tested, many don't actually urinate large volumes. It's the nervous system failing to regulate nighttime balance. Nighttime cortisol spikes signal to your brain that it's in danger. This reduces deep sleep. Your immune system weakens. Inflammatory markers rise. The body begins to malfunction, slowly and quietly. What can help? A stable dinner. Protein plus fiber, plus light carbs. Example, lentil soup with sweet potato and spinach. Turn off screens 1 hour before bed. Dim all lights, no loud conversations. Magnesium glycinate, 200-400 mg, supports GABA pathways in the brain. Don't drink too much water late, but stay hydrated all day. If you're waking up multiple times, you may need better electrolyte control, not less water. Binaural tones, lavender mist, and weighted blankets also help regulate nighttime rhythms. And for those already struggling, there must be a solution for this. A way to support your balance, detect danger before it strikes, and maintain control. One you can activate, wear, and trust. One of the most overlooked signs that someone may not live past 75 is a quiet change in appetite. Not sudden starvation, not dramatic weight loss, just subtle disinterest in food. You eat less than before. You stop feeling hungry. Meals become routine instead of nourishing. But here's what most people don't know. This one small shift can lead to a dangerous downward spiral of malnutrition, organ stress, and accelerated aging. When the body begins eating less, protein intake often drops first. Protein is harder to chew, prepare, and digest, so it's the first to be avoided. But that's a serious mistake. After 65, your body needs more protein than ever before, not less. Without it, you lose muscle, you lose strength, your immune system weakens, healing slows, and most dangerously, you start to lose enzymes that help regulate your heart, kidneys, and blood. The National Institute on Aging confirms that adults over 65 should be getting at least 1.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight each day. That means if you weigh 70 kilograms, about 154 pounds, you need 84 grams of protein daily. But studies show most elders barely hit 50. That shortfall creates weakness, but not the kind you feel instantly. It's weakness that builds over weeks. One day your legs ache after a walk. Another day you lose grip strength. Then comes fatigue, brain fog, poor balance. And eventually, the body simply gives up. But there's a solution, a simple one. Start breakfast with 3 boiled egg whites and 1 slice of whole grain toast with peanut butter. That's 20 grams of protein already. Add a glass of soy milk or plain Greek yogurt, another 8 to 10 grams. For lunch, prepare a chickpea salad with olive oil, boiled quinoa, and a handful of sunflower seeds. That's another 20 grams. At dinner, go with grilled fish or lentils, paired with steamed spinach or kale. Add a spoon of cottage cheese before sleep if needed. This isn't a diet, it's a defense system. And if chewing is an issue, blend your meals. Smoothies with protein powder, nut butters, and soft fruits can pack 25 grams easily. Don't wait to lose appetite. Don't wait until food tastes dull. Train your tongue and your gut to accept what keeps you alive. But appetite isn't the only signal. Another quiet warning comes from within the eyes, more specifically, the retina. Several studies published in peer-reviewed neurology journals confirm that elders with shrinking retinal thickness, particularly in the macula, are at significantly higher risk of both cognitive decline and cardiovascular disease. The eyes are windows into your brain and heart. If blood flow to the retina is reduced, chances are the brain is also starving for nutrients. Blurry vision, trouble reading at night, mild tunnel vision. These are not harmless signs of aging, they are red alerts. Make sure you get an optical coherence tomography, OCT scan, at least once every 12-18 months after 65. It's a quick retinal check that can reveal early vascular problems. To protect your eyes and brain together, load up on lutein and zeaxanthin, found in dark leafy greens like spinach and kale. Eat 2 eggs a day. Add orange bell peppers and kiwi to your diet. Drink enough water and avoid sugary snacks after sunset. Spikes in blood sugar damage the retinal vessels at night more than any other time. One more overlooked sign is daytime sleepiness. Even if you're getting a full night's rest, many elders feel drowsy between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. They call it just slowing down, but it's not. It's usually a mix of poor sleep quality, metabolic imbalance, and lack of brain stimulation. Worse, it's often the result of low melatonin release at night and unstable blood glucose during the day. Melatonin is not just a sleep hormone. It's an anti-inflammatory agent that controls mitochondrial function. If you're missing it, you wake up tired, even after 8 hours. One small but powerful fix is to go outside within 30 minutes of waking up. Even 10 minutes of morning sun exposure on your face resets your circadian rhythm. It boosts serotonin and sets your body clock. You sleep better that night. And in the long run, your heart and brain perform stronger. Keep your first meal of the day balanced with protein, fiber, and fat. Avoid cereals and sweet tea. Instead, go for boiled eggs, avocado toast, and water. Keep moving lightly every hour. Don't sit for longer than 40 minutes at a time. If you feel drowsy around noon, resist the urge to nap for longer than 20 minutes. Power naps can help. Longer naps may cause blood pressure to dip and heart rate to rise unexpectedly, especially in those with hidden arrhythmias or unstable insulin levels. And now, here's something strange, but real. One of the most powerful predictors of death before 75 isn't found in your blood or your muscles. It's in your voice. That's right. A study from the Mayo Clinic revealed that changes in pitch, hesitation, or clarity in an elder's voice can indicate early neurological decline, anxiety, and even lung disease. If your voice feels weaker, breathier, or less expressive over the last year, you might be losing neuromuscular control. This affects your ability to express emotion, call for help, and engage with others. It leads to silence. Silence becomes isolation, and isolation becomes the breeding ground of disease. You don't have to become a singer. Just talk more, read aloud, call someone, laugh, breathe deeply, practice humming or singing short tunes. The vibration stimulates your vagus nerve, which helps control heart rate, digestion, and calmness. It's a therapy tool in clinical neuroscience. As you work on your food, your walking speed, your breath, and your sleep, you're building your defenses. But what if something happens when you're alone? That's the question most elders never ask until it's too late. There must be something that monitors you silently, something that watches over you, alerts help if you fall, if your heart races too fast, if your breath disappears in the night. Something that doesn't just wait, but acts. Take your dinner, rest well, stretch your legs lightly, and once you're done, just turn the machine on. Keep it beside you. Don't place it too close to your pillow. Let it sit quietly by your side. You're not weak for needing it. You're smart. The smartest elders are not the ones who say, "I'll be fine." They're the ones who say, "What if I'm not?" Let's keep going. There's more to fix, more to protect. And you're not alone in this. There's something that often shows up long before disease ever does. It's a feeling, quiet, soft, easy to brush aside. It starts with occasional confusion in a new store layout, not remembering which hallway you just passed, not knowing where you placed your keys, your medication box, your walking cane. You might joke about it. You might even think, "I'm just tired," but that's the fifth signal: spatial disorientation. Most elders call it forgetfulness, but scientists call it a breakdown of spatial mapping in the hippocampus, a core brain structure responsible for navigation, awareness, and time orientation. And the terrifying part? This function begins fading long before Alzheimer's or Parkinson's ever show up on a scan. It doesn't look like disease. It feels like guessing which way to turn in your own neighborhood. It feels like not knowing where the light switch is in a room you've lived in for 30 years. It feels like unfamiliarity creeping into daily routine. A study published in the Journal of Gerontology showed that elders with early spatial memory changes, even without dementia, were 3 times more likely to suffer accidental injuries, falls, or medical emergencies within 2 years. That's why prevention matters. Not reaction, prevention. What helps? Mind mapping exercises. Every evening, sit with a pencil and draw the layout of your home from memory. Then, draw your daily walking route. Even imagine your childhood home and map it. This strengthens the internal compass that holds your cognitive resilience, also your balance, because that sixth signal isn't in your head, it's in your legs. If you feel like your foot drags slightly when walking, or if you turn corners with extra caution, or if you avoid dark rooms because you can't trust your step, that's the body warning you. Your sense of joint positioning, called proprioception, is fading, and when it goes, falls follow. Falls are the #1 cause of elder injury death in the U.S. Most elders don't die because of disease, they die because of complications after a fall, hip fractures, brain bleeds, internal swelling, and most of those falls were predictable. They happened at night, when no one was watching, when the floor was cold, when the brain was half awake. Every elder thinks, that won't happen to me, until it does. Start correcting your balance, daily. Stand barefoot on a soft surface for 30 seconds with one foot slightly lifted. Hold onto a table at first, then release. Build up to 1 minute per side. Practice heel-to-toe walking along a hallway. Turn slowly. Focus your eyes on fixed points. These are not exercises, they are survival tools. But what about the moment something goes wrong? What happens if you're in the bathroom and no one hears you? What happens if you lose consciousness for 30 seconds? What if your heartbeat races while you're asleep and your phone is in another room? You cannot rely on luck, or a family member remembering to check on you, or the hope that the neighbors hear a noise. These are not safety plans. These are chances, and chances don't save lives. This is where trust must shift from habits to systems, and that system has to work. It must not require installation. It must not need Wi-Fi. It must not need you to do anything in the moment, because when a crisis strikes, your only job is survival, not setup. The solution has to stay close to your body. It has to detect your fall before anyone hears it. It has to send a signal, alert a helper, make sure someone knows, even if you can't speak, even if you're unconscious, even if your phone is under the bed. And that's exactly what this system does. A medical alert device, worn like a necklace, designed specifically for elders. It's not a clunky machine. It's not something you'll forget to charge. It's lightweight, cellular-based, works across the country. It knows when you fall. It knows when you haven't moved. It detects unusual motion, and most importantly, it connects you to real human help instantly. You don't have to push a button. The fall detector triggers automatically, and if you are able to speak, the pendant has a two-way voice system, so you're not just heard, you're understood. Many elders hesitate, thinking, I don't need that yet, but by the time you do, it may be too late. This is not for today's emergencies, it's for the one that hasn't happened yet, but will. If not to you, then to someone you love. The best part, it's waterproof. That means it works in the shower, the most common place for elder falls. It runs on a long-life battery. No cords, no wall plug, no complicated buttons. You wear it, and it works. That's it. It's the difference between panic and peace, between alone and connected, between crisis and control. If your heart skips, if you faint, if your foot catches a carpet edge, if your pressure drops at night, if you lose strength for a second, this device acts faster than anyone else could. You don't have to think twice. You don't have to yell. You just need it on you. The link is in the description and comments.